So what I'm holding here in my hand, I purchased 25 years ago. It's kind of weird when we look at how old some of these things are that we've bought and how many years we've had like an item, like a CD or a book or a DVD. 25 years, that's a quarter of a century ago. I bought this and imported it from a website that probably doesn't even exist anymore. It was Disc Emporium. Used to be a great website that I used to use to import all my Region 1 DVDs, because a lot of these films and discs and editions and stuff you couldn't get here in the UK, and the Criterion version of Brazil was definitely one of them. Why did I go for it? Well, I'm not a massive Terry Gilliam fan. I do like Terry Gilliam, but his films were a little bit hit and miss for me, to be honest. I do like Brazil. It's obviously weird, but I love the fact that there is a filmmaker like Terry Gilliam that can just make these weird films for us. It'd be kind of boring if everything was the same, wasn't it? I think it was quite expensive at the time. Off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but in my brain, I'm thinking it was about 40 quid. It's about £40. Don't know how much it's worth now. Don't know if it's worth anything now, because it's probably come out on Blu-ray or something since. But it is a triple disc set. So what we get here, and this is where Brazil gets even more interesting and weird. So we have all packed in individual DVD cases. So in here we have Brazil, the final cut. So this runs for 142 minutes. It's 1985 version. There was a lot of craziness going on with Brazil, studio involvement / interference, and a lot of that is covered in this set. So the final cut is basically Terry Gilliam managed to build up his ultimate director's cut of the film. There is also a shot-by-shot commentary on an audio channel as well. And Terry Gilliam is always an interesting person to listen to when he's chatting about his movies. Very passionate. Inside the disc, we get a booklet. So it says 2003, so maybe it isn't 25 years old, or maybe that's when Criterion got it. I don't know. So yeah, it's a Criterion leaflet that we get in there showing off their 2003 up-to-date collection. So that's quite weird. But there's a lot come out since then, one would hope. So we got a booklet. Standard booklet. I generally don't read booklets. I don't know why. The chapters, 35 chapters in it. DVD production credits. Nice and good to shout out people and whatnot. So there's your booklet that you get in the first disc. Let's just pop that back in there to keep it as it was. So yes, so disc 1, the 142 minute final cut of Brazil. Disc 2, it's an unusual inclusion. This is a curiosity inclusion. This is the Love Conquers All version. Now, remember the first one? Yep, like 142 minutes. This is the one the studio decided would be the better one. And this runs for, look at that, 94 minutes. So you're losing 40 odd plus minutes, which is kind of crazy. I've never actually watched this version, but they kind of gutted it. The studio just sort of took Terry Gilliam out of the equation, got rid of him, cut it, changed it. Gilliam does not like this version whatsoever. So it is a bit of a curiosity. I mean, look at the difference there. It's 21 chapters compared to 35. There is actually a commentary on this one as well by a journalist, David Morgan. He will take you through the differences between this 94-minute version and the final cut, which obviously you've got on the other disc. So we've got 2 commentaries so far on 2 discs, both very different. Terry Gilliam, yay. Journalist is probably not too happy with this Love Conquers All version. Then we get the 3rd disc where the special features are. Well, actually, this is the 2nd disc. The Love Conquers All version is technically a 3rd disc, but I wanted to just do them in the film version. Difference there. So we just get a few featurettes on this. So we get a documentary which runs for about half an hour called What is Brazil? With a whole bunch of people getting involved, Jonathan Price, etc., just talking about their experiences making the film. We get the battle for Brazil, which is really good. That's 56 minutes. That will take you into the battle that I talked about, with the studio were fighting with Terry Gilliam, and Terry Gilliam was fighting with the studio, and so on and so on and so on. And then we get the production notebook, which just has little featurettes for costume design. There is a 9-minute featurette about the music score, and screenwriters featurette which runs for just short of 10 minutes, about 9.5 minutes or so. It's a production notebook. It's okay. Battle for Brazil is the meat and potatoes on this particular disc, and then obviously the final cut version is the version. If you've never seen Brazil before, do watch that version first. Do not watch the Love Conquers All version first. Watch that as a curiosity, just to see why studios should never mess with the version that is made by the filmmaker that you hired, you trusted, and you paid to deliver the best film they can possibly deliver. It is housed in a sort of plasticky type box. You can wipe that clean, and you can wipe the dust off it if you've not watched Brazil for quite a few years. Pretty good box, very sturdy. Let's say this is 20 years old or whatever it is, and it's a pretty good edition. So what do you think? Have you ever seen the Love Conquers All edition? Is it as bad as I think it's going to be? I suspect so.